welcome back to the show, Saving Lives, the VetMed Report. Hey, welcome back. I'm AJ Williams. You know the show, Saving Lives, the VetMed Report. Well, last week we ended up with compensations and pension. Ran out of time, had a lot of stuff. Well, today we're going to start with one of the other benefits that's under there, education and training. It's a whole lot of stuff. So if you do call in, I don't know everything, I don't have everything. But hey, I'm getting there. One of the big things under, like 4 main packages under the education and training. We have the post-Vietnam era. We have the Montgomery GI Bill for active duty. That's under Chapter 30. And of course, the other one, the post-Vietnam era, was called the VEEP. I had that when I went in. Number 3 is the Montgomery GI Bill Selected Reserves. I also had that for a while because I was in the reserves. The other one is the National Call to Service Program. Actually, I fell under that too, not just because I wasn't active as a reserve, because I worked as a AmeriCorps Vista program. Wow, yeah, I did it all. So let's start off with the post-Vietnam, the VEEP program. Now, this is a program where if you got in between January 1st of 77 and June 30th of 1985, well, of course, I signed up. I was in the delayed entry program since October of 1981. Yeah, I'm kind of old, guys. I'm 55, so didn't go to Vietnam, but I'm kind of old. Now, this is where they match. For every $1 you put in, they match $2. So that means if you looked in there, you put in $1, you had 3 in there. And they would take anywhere up from $25 to $2,700. Of course, you know, when I got off active duty, went to Chicago State, I maxed it out because I got the Pell Grant and I got a couple of other scholarships. So I was just using all my money up for the heck of it. Yeah, I know. Did you finish your degree? No, I didn't. I have, 200-something odd credit hours floating all around somewhere. I could be a professor now, I don't know, a PhD, but I'll work on it later. Now, you must finish your first enlistment, and you have to receive anything other than a dishonorable discharge. Now, if you're active today, which I could have stayed in and been active today, I would have had over 30-some years. You at least have to have 3 months contributions in there to get it. You got to put up 3 months. Now, of course, you say, well, what's covered under this VEEP program? Well, because remember, this is your money. Well, some of it's money. $1 of it's yours, and $2 is the government contribute. So you can get co-op training, you can get a non-college degree program, and for you adventurous guys, you could do some flight training. Wow, I should have went in there and finished some helicopter training and got some license. Well, that's another story. I also would pay for test fees. If you're going to take some tests, they'll pay for the fees. And if you want to, you're not one of those college guys, you like to, get some on-the-job training and apprenticeship, they would pay for it. Now also, the VEEP has a entrepreneurship training and correspondence training. Well, this is where you can, the correspondence training where you can get like CLEP, you can get college credit by testing out. I got about 6 or 7 credit hours. I did that, so it works. Well, let's get into one of the Montgomery GI Bill. This is, I guess, the wartime stuff. Sounds real clever. Montgomery GI Bill, active duty. This falls under Chapter 30. You have to fit into one of these to get these benefits. You length of service, type of education program. You find out what category you fit in. If you qualify for college funds or the kicker, how much you paid into is another part of that called the 600 buy-up. This is where you can get an extra $5,400 in your GI Bill. Not bad at all. Well, let's look at something else. We got the Montgomery GI Bill Selective Reserves. Now this is up to 36 months of benefits. You can get like $384 per month. This is under the Chapter 1606. Now, you have to be 6 years in a reserve unit. If you're an officer, you get it, but you also have to sign for an additional 6 years. Now, I came back off of active duty, went to Chicago State, got into ROTC, and I was going to do it, but I ended up getting on the police department, became a cop. But I stayed in reserves. So I ended up, like I said, I got 3 honorables. So 1 was active duty and 2 was reserve and guard. Your note, the obligation must start after June 30th, 1985. Of course, I got into the finished reserves when I came back, 86 to 88, went back in 99, got out 2002, went back in 2003, and I ended up in 2009. Now, some types of training are after September 30th in 1990, you'll be qualified. Now, for that, all of this, you must fit. You must have completed your initial basic training, AIT, all that, what they call initial IADT. Have to have a high school diploma or a GED before you finish your IADT. Now that's kind of note. Now when I went back in, I don't know if it was in the Vietnam. I guess they had it in the Vietnam era, guys, because I ended up getting the V. We had guys that didn't finish high school while we were training in basic training and during IAT. That's when IAT, if I'm talking to vets, you know what I'm talking about. They would take these guys out and give them some extra training so they can complete their GED or high school while they were in basic training. So when they finished, they could qualify for a lot of these GI bills. I also probably would give the recruiter on the back end a kicker because he missed the kicker because he didn't put in a high school graduate. Actually, my recruiter held me up from shipping out because I had a diploma sitting at Corliss High School, but I had to pay a bunch of book fees. So I had a bunch of money sitting there. I used to be a lifeguard, so my mother and the recruiter went down and paid for it, and I don't even know where that diploma's at now. I ended up having to go back to the Board of Ed down on 39th and get a copy. So hey, have to have that and you could not use, which at one time I did a little recruiting, so I put some people in, went to Job Corps. They were from Job Corps. They didn't have their high school diploma or GED, but what they had, being the Job Corps, taking some of their courses, they had 12 credit hours of college credit, which they put in place of having the high school documentation. But now you can't do that. They don't want you to have, you gotta have the high school diploma. Now, you get discharged, it has to be for disability, not misconduct. And it's possible you can, after you get out of that first assignment, after them 6 years, because usually it ends when you get out, if you're in the reserves. You can go to school while you're in reserves. So all the time, if you stay in there, as long as you stay in there, the more you can go to school. But if you get out and you have disability, your unit been deactivated, and it was not under misconduct, and you didn't get a dishonorable, you could extend 14 years after that, what we call ETS. That's it for you non-military people not out there watching. So hey, that's a great thing. We also came to the National Call to Service Program. Now this still probably helped the reserves out. If you was in a selective reserve unit, you had to complete IDT and then continue 15 active months in a MOS specialty, but it had to be deemed special. The Secretary of Defense probably had to be one of those MOSs that you got a kicker bonus in. So not every MOS qualified for that, and not everybody in there. So it was, you probably need to hit the Illinois Department of Veterans Affairs, which is attached. They have an office attached to Jesse Brown down there, 820 South Damon. You can go over there and talk to a Veteran Service Office. They call it VSO. He can get more detailed, and boom, because I got some things I need to look up. I wasn't aware, and I just didn't look into it because I thought I was done. So, hey, good stuff. Again, let's continue with that national. Let me see. You had to have, without a break of service, additional 24 months of selective reserve. And you spent the rest of your obligation on active duty in a selective reserve, individual ready reserve, or again in the AmeriCorps or domestic national service. Now, what do you get for this National Call to Service? Well, you may receive, you can get a bonus of $5,000. You can get a repayment package up to $18,000. And you can get education assistance for 3 years under that MGIB for 12 months. Or you can get 50% less than the 3 years monthly thing you would get, and you can get that, I don't say I guess you was up to $400, $500 for your MGI bill. You can get 50% of that. So you get $250, and you can get that for 36 months. But you still can also, while you're going to school, you can Pell Grant and other scholarships, you know. So, and one to add, especially here, I guess, like my guy Randy, I haven't heard from him in a while. If you were home and record was Chicago and Illinois, you left, you could qualify, but you have to come back. Even if you're not from Illinois, but if you come back within a few months of your ETS or whatever, you coming back from the war, and you come and make this your home and record, Illinois has a Illinois veteran grant. You go to school, you can get up to 120 credit hours, so you can get your bachelor's degree under that Illinois, and you still have this. That money can go in your pocket. I guess you can go buy a car. You can help take care of your family, and among other things. Now, that is some good stuff. That's a lot of stuff, of course. I know you're saying, AJ, wait, man, I couldn't get all that stuff. I could not get all that. Why? I understand you couldn't get all that. So what? Again, I'm gonna have you. Wow, I thought I was going to be able to, well, can't get that out no more. Wow. So let's look at where you can go. Our info page. Again, savinglivesmental.org, or you can email us at info@savinglivesmental.org, or drop us a call, 773-675-4090. Somebody's usually there Tuesday through Thursday, at least 9:30 to about 3:30. Somebody probably should be there to answer the phones. And of course, I always offer or put this out that, hey, email your old buddy AJ Williams. awilliams64.aw@gmail.com. I don't mind. You a vet, give me a call. Love to hear from you. Love to go on, because as I give you information, I'm learning. Great man told me a long time ago, hey, you learn something on your way to learn. Not bad at all. Not bad at all. Let's go over that 600 buyout program. Now, some service members may contribute up to additional 600 to get this. You can get to 5,400, which I talked about. Now, the eligibility, you may be eligible if you're honorable discharge and you have a high school diploma, in some cases 12 hours of college credit, and you meet the requirements of one of the categories. Now, it's 4 categories. I really hate to read all these, but some of them, the part of it is like category 1. You enter active duty for the first time after June 30th, 1985. Category 2, if you entered active duty before January 1st, 1977, I mean you was a Vietnam guy. Now, not eligible for the MGIB under category 1 or 2, then if you went on active duty September 30th, 1990, and you separated involuntary after 2291, you probably. Now, category 4, you on active duty October of 96, and you had some money remaining in VEET, and the date you elected your Montgomery bill by 1097. That's kind of funny. That's when I kind of left the police department. So that is a gamut of things under there. Now, this Veteran Education Assistant Program, now, types of training for that: college degree, certificate programs, technical or vocational courses, flight training, apprenticeship, or on-the-job training, as I stated before. In some circumstances, remedial deficiency and refresher training also available. Not bad. Now, available benefits and eligibility. Now, some of them under that VEET benefits entitled one for 36 months, depending on the number of months contributions. You have 10 years for your release of active duty. So when I came off active in 86, I was done by 96 if I'm not finished, Now, also under those programs, if you don't use them, and a good thing they have now is this thing can go to your children. That's one. They have educational opportunities for the children aged 10 to 18. Financial aid is provided annually to each child between the ages of 10 and 18 years of veterans who died or became totally disabled as a result of their armed forces and service-connected Now, this will help Korean, Vietnam conflicts between February 1st of 1995 and some of the Gulf Wars. And they go into being PFW, missing in action, and so forth. Again, to get to some of these information, you can go to Saving Lives, Mental.org, info at Saving Lives, Mental.org, or give us a call, 773-675-4050. And again, of course, I always take it upon myself. You can email me, awilliams64.aw@gmail.com. Now, I guess we'll be getting prepared for next week, because what we would do, we'd be going over a little, got 19 programs here, packages. Well, I guess we might be able to touch on a little bit of the unemployment training. Since we're here, I guess we got a couple of minutes, we can start it off. Well, let's go over the Illinois Veteran Grant for people here in Chicago. Now, this is a grant that provides you 120 units at any state-supported college or university or city colleges. You can go there. And if you need more information about that, you can always go to our website, ask about it, and we will give you that information. Now, I want to deal with some... Well, you know what? I think before we moving on, maybe we need to, for that GI Bill, that active duty bill, let's look at one of the categories. Category 1, I already told you that June 30th, 1985, if you had military pay reduced by $100 a month for the first 12 months, continuously serve for 3 years or 2 years, if that is what you're first enlisted for, if you entered in the selected reserve within a year of leaving active duty and served 4 years, that's a 2x4 program. Now, the category 2, again, I mentioned, entered active duty before January 1st, 1977. That'd probably be your Vietnam guys. You served at least 1 day between October 19th of 84 and June 30th of 1985, and stayed on active duty through June 30th, 1988, or through June 30th, 1987, if you entered in the selected reserves within 1 year of leaving active duty. Or on 12/31/89, you had an entitlement left from your Vietnam era GI Bill, which was your VEEP. And our time is up, so hey, I want to welcome you for watching, and we will see you next time. I guess the same back channel, channel 21 for the show. Let me see here. Let me go here and